and welcome to this course on how you can make money on cryptocurrencies. Now, in this video, we're gonna take you through exactly what is the crypto market and the blockchain market. We don't know, right? It's a new market, well, fairly new. It's been around since 2010. So it's not that new, but it's very new to a lot of people, maybe you that are watching this as well. So in this episode, we're going to break down what is cryptocurrencies, what are those new currencies and companies, what is the blockchain, and more importantly, how can you make money from it? We're going to compare it so you will understand that it's not very different from stocks in many ways. There are some differences, and we're going to go into these during this episode as well. But more importantly, we're going to cover the 5 ways that you can make money with cryptocurrencies. So let's get into it. So, if we start with what are cryptocurrencies, it's really the same thing as stocks. In many ways, it's newer, it's less regulated, but in order for you to buy into cryptocurrencies, you just need to have a broker, right? We're going to help you set up with a broker and everything you need, but look at it this way. If you are going to a supermarket, you're gonna buy food, you can buy all sorts of things, right? It could be a marketplace of any kind. But for this example, let's use a digital one. So if you go to eBay, if you go to Amazon, everybody knows Amazon. You go into Amazon, right? Zoop, and you get your stuff, you order it, and then you get it sent home to you, and in here, of course, you pay as well. So you pay, you get your goods or services, and then you get them sent home to you. So you use an intermediary, right? You use a place in the middle that will support you with your services. You give them your money, and out comes the services, right? So cryptos is also digital. And if you want to enter the crypto market, you need to use something similar. So you need to use a broker that can get the cryptocurrencies for you. And cryptocurrencies is a little bit what it sounds like. It's cryptocurrency. It's currencies that are using cryptographic technology. We're not going to go into that in too much detail yet. But what I would like you to know is that it's digital assets. And I got to show you this, right? So digital assets, they are cheaper, right? Write this down, right? Make sure you write this down. Take notes. They're cheaper and they're faster. What do I mean by that? Alright, so if you use a cryptocurrency such as Bitcoin, you might have heard of it, and there's Litecoin, there's so many of these options. If you use that, and it's going to cost you, if you send money anywhere in the world, it's going to cost you maybe less than $1. It's going to be very, very low fees. It's a lot lower than the banks, especially if you use some of the faster, newer cryptocurrencies. Such as Dash is one example. There's many of those. We're going to go into those a bit later. But it's faster as well. You can send it to anywhere in the world within minutes. It's not days. You know, the bank of Bitcoin doesn't close when the banks are closing. They're open 24/7, right? 24 hours a day. And you can send it to anywhere in the world within minutes. Isn't that amazing? It's a little bit like you went from having, like you exchanged cows for chickens, you know, that's how it started. And then you had pebbles, and then you had rocks, and then you had gold, silver, and then you had money, and now we have digital money, right? Bank transfers. But even with bank transfer, it takes you a few days maybe. Closed over the weekend, but take 3 to 5 banking days to send something internationally, right? But with cryptos, it's globally, within minutes, and it's cheaper. Now, let me ask you this. Would you use it if it is cheaper and faster? Comment below if that is the case. Yeah, and probably that's the truth, right? So that is cryptocurrencies. It's currencies that are an upgrade of our existing system. Some call it Internet 2.0, Money 2.0 even. Right? So that's what cryptocurrencies are. So let us go into how you can make money out of this, right? What does this mean for you? So you have cryptocurrencies. The currencies, that's one area. But then you also have companies. You have, just like you had Google, Facebook, you have IBM, you have all of these .com companies that came up in the beginning of the 2000s, right? And in the 90s, they came up and they came from nowhere. People thought, well, what is this? Internet? What is internet? What is emails? But now, of course, it's different. Now we have blockchain companies. Now we have cryptocurrencies that are companies that are solving real problems in the world. So some of them are solving, for example, voting. So, well, payments we already talked about with Bitcoin, but voting. Imagine you can vote on the blockchain. Well, now I mentioned the word, haven't I? So what is a blockchain? That's the technology behind cryptocurrencies. And there is one way I can illustrate it. But after I've done that, then we're going to go into how you can make money as well. So make sure you take a note of this, because this is important. And this is all you need to know. There's a lot more I can teach you about this, but we're here to make money. Isn't that the truth? We're not here to learn all about the technicalities. But the blockchain, look at it this way. Today, right, this is you. You're going to send money somewhere. Great. You send it. You have your bank there, right? Your bank. And then you send it to another bank, right? And in the middle, well, here you might have Visa, MasterCard, right? And then the receiver's bank. And then it goes to maybe your mom, right? I don't really know what she looks like. Maybe something like that. So what happens here? Well, everybody wants to earn money, right? So you have some fees over here. You have some fees over here by Visa, some fees over here, and then they get sent 3 to 5 banking days. Now the blockchain have solved that problem. They have actually solved the problem that you don't need someone in the middle to mitigate this. So what happens now is that you have, that's you send them, this here is a blockchain. And here you have the receiver. So you don't need any middlemen. You don't need any people in the middle or any companies in the middle, which is revolutionary. And that's what's so exciting about this. And it's public. A lot of them are public. There are private blockchains, but a lot of them are public. So everything that is happening is open for everyone. We're not going to go into this too much. All you need to know, and write this down, is that it's faster, cheaper, more efficient to use the blockchain than to use the system we have today. So that's what is happening now. That is the revolution we're seeing now. And the question is, of course, do you want to stand on the sidelines or do you want to jump in before everyone else? The market is so tiny. You probably have seen it go from 100 to 1,000 to 10,000 to 40,000, maybe even higher, depending on when you're watching this. So the question is, how long are you going to wait? But you're here, and I'm going to show you now how you can really make money with cryptocurrencies. So the 5 ways we're going to cover in this course are, right, is this. We have, let me do one of these, right? So this here is risk, right? This here represents risk. And here is very low risk, and here is very high risk. So these are the 5 ways. Number 1, we invest into blockchain companies, all right? So that is, you can write that down. So blockchain companies. And that's exciting because look, this is a lot riskier than investing in the stock market. If I would put the stock market over here somewhere, right? And then boom, crypto market all the way to the other side. So it's a lot riskier. We're going to go into in the coming video how much you should invest as well. But we have blockchain companies. That is fairly low risk because it's public companies, it's blue chip companies. So within these companies, we have companies such as Facebook, we have Google, all of them that are adapting the blockchain, right? They're adapting the blockchain. We have Alibaba. You can probably name a few yourself. Technology companies that are in the forefront. And then we have something here called, we're going to go into all of these. But then we have investing into solid cryptos. And we're doing that through investing. So we are also investing in the big cap cryptos, right? So I'm going to write big cap here. And big cap means that they are the bigger ones, the safer ones. Among those, you have Bitcoin, Ethereum, the top ones, right? I'm going to show you where you can find those as well. But then, alongside here, we also have small caps. Small caps are the smaller cryptos, the newer ones that can really go up a lot, right? It's really volatile, so it can go up a lot, and they can, of course, also fall a lot. So we invest a little bit less in those. So the higher risk, the less money we actually invest. And then you have something exciting here. I'm going to do this in red because it's going to be a little bit more risky. And over here we have ICOs, right? And that is crypto startups. Now, would you like to invest into the new Facebook, the new Amazon? Comment below if that is the case. And I would think that that is a yes. Of course you would, right? Who would not want to do that? Invest like £100, £200 in order to make enormous sums. But that's the key. We use asymmetric risk. And asymmetric risk means that you invest very low amounts in order to make a lot, right? So in the course now, we're going to go through how you take advantage of all of these. But then to the last one, which we apply on most of the strategies, is something that is called staking, all right? So staking means that's kind of dividend, right? So with this, you can actually make, well, up to, but you could make a little bit more, but I'm going to write plus 8%. A little bit less sometimes, but also a little bit more sometimes. But 8% a year just from holding the cryptos. I mean, you can make 8%, that's passive, that's awesome. So with the cryptos we're buying, we just do this and we get dividend from them as well. We're going to go into all of this, don't you worry. Now we're just building the foundation. But the question is, are you excited, right? Comment below if you are excited. You should be. This is awesome. So this is really the strategies we're using that we're going to cover in depth. So in the next section now, we're going to actually discuss the difference between the stock market and crypto market, because many of you might think, well, stocks is this, I'm not sure what that is, but cryptos, whoa, that's completely new. But the thing is, it works very, very similar. It's different, but it works very similar. So I'm going to show you now the difference on why stocks could be a little bit safer, but why cryptos is a lot more interesting. So let's take a look at it. So the main difference between stocks, and there's a lot of differences, right? Stocks, you know those. You have Facebook, you have Tesla, you have all of the stocks. But then you have cryptos on the other side. So if we start with, what do you think is a little bit more risky, right? Where can you lose more money? Which is newer? Well, you guessed it. Cryptos is a bit more risky. So that means, my friends, that we would invest less money in cryptos. But man, which have the higher potential, right? So it's a little bit more risk here, but wow, when we speak about the potential, then cryptos win. So cryptos has more potential, right? But another thing that's very important here that you need to just take into consideration is regulation. Stocks are regulated, it's safe, it's under control of all the financial authorities, but cryptos, on the other hand, is unregulated, right? So unregulated. And what that means is they go outside the jurisdictions, which means that everything is not 100% legal, which means you need to know what you're doing. You need to have financial education, which you're getting now, which is amazing, but make sure you learn with someone. And those 5 strategies, that's what we teach in your crypto club, right? We teach you those in depth. You're going to learn a lot of that here as well. But make sure you learn with someone, just as you learn how to drive. Very important that you learn with someone that's done it before. Like Investment Master with 20 years of experience, right? 20 years of teaching or investing and trading their own money, but over 13, 14 years of teaching others how to do it as well. So make sure you learn it properly, right? Write that down. Don't try it on your own. We've all done that. We've watched YouTube, we've done all that, but make sure you learn it properly. Very important, just because it's unregulated. So that's the main differences, but both of them work this way. This is you once again, right? Could be, doesn't matter. But you transfer money over to an exchange, right? And in this exchange, you can buy all the different cryptos. And then when you want, you can always take them back, right? And exactly the same with stocks. They just take fees for every time you buy and sell. That's how it works. They're just an intermediary. They allow you to come on, but for the service of mitigating and selling cryptos to you, they take a small fee. Exactly like if you go to Amazon and buy something. Obviously, they're making money from that as well. So that is really how the cryptos works, and the difference with stocks is this is higher risk, it's bigger potential, but it's unregulated, so you invest a little bit less than you would in safer assets such as stocks, maybe real estate, or maybe gold and silver. All right? So I think that's very, very important. So in this video, my friends, you have learned really what is the crypto market, what is the blockchain, and more importantly, how you can make money from it. We've also taken a look at what the difference between stocks and cryptos are. But there is one last thing we are going to take a look at, and that is, of course, how is the difference if we look at the charts. And I'm going to show you here. It's going to go quite quick, but if you just have a look here, you will see that this here is the stock market on the left hand side. We're looking at IBM. It could be your right hand side, right? And on this side, we're looking at the crypto market. And as you can see here, they look the exact same. This might be a little bit confusing for you just because you don't know maybe what a chart is. But don't worry, don't panic. We will learn all this. But all you need to know now is that every single of these green and red things are called candles. And they just show what is the price currently. And the cryptos, they have the same thing. They might move differently, but it just shows you the same thing. So what you do, if you have £1,000, you can buy shares for £1,000, or you can buy cryptos for £1,000. The process is very, very similar. Alright, so I really hope you enjoyed this video. Make sure you subscribe below because you can get updates on all the videos we're going to share with you. So you are at the forefront and will get the news about what the next steps for you are. And we're really excited to teach you exactly how you get started, step by step, and how you make money with cryptos. So make sure once again, comment below. What do you think about this video? What did you learn? Do you think it was exciting? And I'm looking forward to seeing you in the next video.